Hey guys, Jason here. Um, so this is my second video. Um, this is gonna be serve as week 2 of my divorce after finding out. This week, for the divorce, we decided that we were going to announce our divorce. So we told Marcus's dad and my mom we wanted to do it face to face or over the phone. We FaceTime Marcus's dad. We told my mom. Everybody else that we felt needed to know, we decided to do it on Facebook because there's just so many people and it's just easier that way. And it's not always necessarily a good idea to post this stuff on social media, but in a sense it's convenient, and I understand that's why people do it. So I had mixed emotions about it. I did feel good about what I wrote in my posts. And of course, if you want to check out my posts, just search me on Facebook. You can go through all of them and read them. Again, if people want me to share on here, leave a comment below in the comments, and I can read through some of them. Some of them can be emotional, just to forewarn you. But with us announcing it, there are emotions to it. There's all kinds of emotions. Not all of it's easy. But for me, I search inspirational quotes. And I'm going to share a couple with you that really helped me and I thought were fitting for my situation. And also, I also want to throw out there that if you are going through a hard time and need just some inspiration and you're by yourself, and there isn't anybody to talk to, just go online, search inspirational quotes. One place that I do go to is Board of Wisdom. It has all kinds of quotes for all kinds of situations. Love, divorce, death, marriage, all kinds of stuff. And they're really good. For the most part, they're really good quotes. I also found some just by searching in Google. But also, if you are a little religious or any sort of religious at all, or even not, I would download the Holy Bible app or the Bible app. It gives you scriptures to read through every day, daily scripture. My sister pointed it out to me. I did have the app before, and I haven't had it on my phone for a while, and I haven't re-downloaded it yet, but I'm going to, just so I can reconnect there. But that app is also really good. But so for the first quote, it's about courage. And I just thought it was fitting, so I'm gonna read it for you guys. Courage is not living without fear. Courage is being scared to death and doing the right thing anyways. So with that quote, like it touched me because I needed to have courage to face my fear of getting a divorce. I didn't want to get a divorce. by any means. I mean, who wants to get divorced, right? But getting divorced is the right thing. In my mind, in my heart, that's how I feel. And I think praying has helped me figure that out. But definitely being scared to death, like it's saying scared to death of doing the right thing. Like, man, I was scared. You're losing somebody that you love, and it's a scary thing. But that quote, I don't know, it just touched me. It spoke to me, and I just thought it was a very fitting quote. So the next one is by Viktor Frankl, but goes like this. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And so that spoke to me, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I can't change the situation I'm in. It is what it is. And as much as it sucks and I don't want to change, I have to challenge myself to change myself for the better, so I can find my inner happiness. Because that is important. I have put other people first before myself, before my own happiness. Because I've never been one to search for my own happiness, because I've always been happy seeing other people happy. And I gotta challenge myself. I gotta do what's right for me, and that's what I'm going to do. Also, this second week of our divorce, I decided to do a post on the 5 stages of grief. Now, most of everybody knows the 5 stages of grief, but if you don't, maybe this will help you out to understand it better. Maybe realize that maybe you have gone through these stages before, and how you can get through each stage, as I do on a day-to-day basis. I'm not saying that I've gone through all 5 stages already and it's all done and over with. I'm saying that I go through the 5 stages every single day. Not all of them, but for the most part, I go through the 5 stages of grief every day. But I'm gonna. My post was about the divorce. I'm still gonna go through 5 stages, I'm sure. Just keep cycling them, but this was the first time I realized that I was going through the 5 stages. So the first stage of grief is denial. So, like I've said in my previous video, we've been working at our marriage for a year. Last year, I was in denial big time. When Marcus asked for a divorce, I didn't want to believe it. I wasn't ready. I wanted to work things out. Sometimes that's okay. I was in denial that there was any issues, period. That denial was the biggest one for me. It's lasted a year. Till that day. Let's see. when I got out of denial, was I want to say it was the 12th. May 12th. I was trying to look through my notes and stuff, but I think the 12th was a Sunday, and that's when I found out, and then that's when I was out of denial that it was actually happening. That a year is a long time, and to be in denial a year, yeah. So with that being said, I've never told anybody this or anything, but I have processed what I need to do to get a divorce in the last year. What it would do to me, how it would affect my life going on. I thought about all this stuff for a year. Of course, I never wanted to get a divorce, but I spent a year on denial, contemplating how, if and when we were going to get a divorce. I also spent a lot of time on how I can fix it. And, you know, if our divorce happened a year ago, it would have been much different. Very much so different. And I think it just took a year to realize and make sure that it was okay. So moving on to the next stage, which is anger. I think there was an hour that I was angry. An hour that I was just pissed off. Because my life was going to be over. Or I was thinking my life would be over. I didn't spend much time on anger. Because the more anger you have, the more anger you have built up. That's just harder on you. It drains you out more. I didn't want to be angry. And I chose not to be angry. Anger is a very dangerous stage. You can spin out of control. You can go crazy. It's just, and I didn't want to do all that. And I have nothing to be angry about. I mean, I'm sure I do, but I don't dwell on the past, and I'm not going to. It's just not something I need to be angry about. So the next stage is bargaining. So not so much after I found out I was getting a divorce, I did much of that. But going back to a year ago, that's why we decided to work it out, because I bargained. I'm like, hey, let's try this, let's try that. And, you know, as much as you try, if something's not meant to be, it's not going to happen. So I spent a lot of time on that. I mean, it was just like denial. So you try to grab at every straw, every little thing you try to hang on to. And then it just comes to the point where you can't. And it sucks. And then that's where stage 4 comes in. Depression. Um, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't depressed. Depression is a very, I guess, scary thing. But what I was more concerned about is not my mental health. Mentally, I think having that year, I prepared myself. So, sorry, I yawned. I guess mentally you can say I'm depressed because physically I've taken a hit really bad. My mental state's not bad, but my physical state, and I think I focused more on my mental part of it than the physical part of it. And when I say that, if I would keep my thoughts straight, if I would not think about this, think about that. I spent so much time thinking about not being depressed that it took a physical effect on me. And like I said before, I lost 15 pounds in the first week. Just by not eating. I wasn't drinking. That can kill you. And if it wasn't for my coworker forcing me to eat, she would literally go buy food and bring it here and make me eat. I probably would have been sick. Probably in the hospital. Because I was more focused on my mental health than my physical health. And so I battle that every day. Not so much the last year, but the last couple months, yes, definitely. So now we come to acceptance. I guess for me, acceptance, I'm still in that stage. I have accepted it, but it's not going to be real until we get the divorce papers. And I realized that our marriage was probably over probably 3 or 4 months ago. I was watching some comedy on Netflix, and this guy was talking about relationships and, accepting people, even if they're annoying. Like you accept your significant other, even at their worst, most annoying moments. And he's like, you're laughing because you think it's funny because that happens in your relationship. And I wasn't laughing, and Marcus is like, so what's that saying about our relationship? And so I chuckled. I didn't really think anything of it, But then, after that, I'm like, maybe Marcus does have a point. Maybe this was over a year ago, and maybe I just need to accept it. And so then when it did actually happen, I think it was easier for me to accept it. So that's the 5 stages. Of course, at the end of all this, when it's all final, I will do another reevaluation of the 5 stages of grief for myself and how I feel mentally and physically. So the next week video, week 3, I want to talk about closure, trust, and happiness. I think those will fit in well with what happened the 3rd week. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, just send me a message down below or hit me up on social media. I'm here if anybody ever needs to talk. So, guess that's it for this week's video. Thanks for watching. Bye.